Hello dear students, welcome back. This is Jocelyn here. You know what is a clause? A clause is a group of words which has a subject and a verb, right? So in one of the previous classes we learned what is a main clause and what is a dependent clause, correct? In this class, I will teach the different kinds of dependent clauses. Correct? So, the main clause and subordinate clause or dependent clause both have subject and verb combination, whereas the main clause makes a complete sense. It stands by itself, whereas the dependent clause doesn't stand by itself. That's the main difference. And dependent clauses are always introduced by subordinating conjunctions. I think you are thorough with how to identify a subordinating clause and a main clause. In this class, I will teach how to identify different dependent clauses. Before that, let us know how many types, how many kinds of dependent clauses are there. In fact, there are three types of dependent clauses. One, noun clause. Second one, adjective clause. Third one, adverb clause. Got the point, dear students? Noun clause, adverb clause, adjective clause. Noun clause does the work of a noun. Adjective clause does the work of an adjective. And adverb clause does the work of an adverb. Then how to identify them? It's very simple. Look at the screen. I have three sentences. I know why he worked hard. I know the reason why he worked hard. He passed because he worked hard. See, all these three statements have dependent clauses, that is subordinate clauses. Because you see the first sentence, we have why, subordinating conjunction or subordinators. So why he worked hard is in fact a subordinate clause or dependent clause. Second one, I know the reason why he worked hard. See, why he worked hard, again this is a dependent clause. Third one, he passed because, see, because he worked hard. This is also because he worked hard is also a subordinating clause because is a subordinator. Then how to identify them as a noun clause, adjective clause or adverb clause? See, the first one, I know why he worked hard. See, you have to identify the main clause and subordinate clause here. The main clause is I know, and the subordinating clause is why he worked hard. Got the point, dear students? See, I know is the main clause, and using this main clause you form a question to get the subordinating clause as an answer. Subordinating clause is why he worked hard. I know. I know. What? What do you know? What do you know? I know that I know why he worked hard. I know what? What do you know? I know why he worked hard. Got the point, dear students? I know what? I know why he worked hard. So when the question is what, okay, then the subordinating clause is called a noun clause. Got the point, dear students? I know what? I know why he worked hard. When the question is what, the subordinating clause will be a noun clause. Second one, I know the reason why he worked hard. So in first case also we have why he worked hard, but that is a noun clause, whereas this one is an adjective clause. See, why he worked hard, why he worked hard. In both the cases we have the same subordinate clause. But in case 1 it is a noun clause, in case 2 it is an adjective clause. Then what is the difference between noun clause? How to differentiate an adjective clause from the noun clause? Noun clause answers what, whereas an adjective clause always describes an antecedent. And in this statement, the antecedent is the reason. I know the reason. The reason is the object, the antecedent. There is a noun. And Why he worked hard. Why he worked hard defines this reason, antecedent. I repeat, why he worked hard describes the reason, and any word or a group of words which describes a noun is known as an adjective. So it is called adjective phrase. It's an adjective clause. Got the point, dear students? Once again, why he worked hard in sentence 2 is a subordinate clause, but it describes the reason. The reason. I know the reason. The reason is described by a clause why he worked hard. So it is an adjective clause. It means an adjective clause always describes an antecedent, a noun. See the third one. He passed because he worked hard. See, he worked hard. Again we have he worked hard. But this is neither a noun clause nor an adjective clause. It is in fact an adverb clause. How to identify? See, noun clause can be identified when the question is what. Adjective clause will always describe an antecedent, whereas an adverb clause answers questions why, when, where and how. Why, when, where and how. You form a question keeping the main clause as it is. What is the main clause in this case? He passed. Use he passed and frame a question to get because he worked hard. See, what do we do here? See, he passed because he worked hard. Why did he pass? Why did he pass? Isn't it? He passed is the main clause, and keep using this main clause. We have framed a question to get the subordinate clause's answer. Why did he pass? He passed because he worked hard. Why is the question here. So when the question is why, when, where and how, the subordinate clause will be an adverb clause. The first one is noun clause because it answers the question what. Second one is an adjective clause because it defines or describes the antecedent. And the third one, the third subordinate clause is in fact an adverb clause because it answers question why. One more example. We know where he lives. They don't know the place where he lives. Third one. She does not want to go where he lives. See, where he lives, where he lives, where he lives. In all the three cases, where he lives is the subordinate clause because, the subordinate conjunction where introduces the clause. So, all the three are subordinate clause, dependent clauses, right? Case 1, you see, we know where he lives. Here, we know where he lives. We know what? What do you know? I mean, what do we know? So, what is the question? Question asked. So, it is in fact, yes, it is a noun clause. Second one, they don't know the place where he lives. They don't know the place. See, where he lives in the second question, in the second statement, it describes the place, antecedent. So, it is an adjective clause. Third one, she does not want to go where he lives. Where does not she want to go? Where does not she want to go? See, the question asked is where. I told you, when the question is why, when, where and how, the subordinating clause will be an adverb clause. So, this is in fact an adverb clause. Got the point, dear students? Okay. So, when a clause, subordinate clause answers what, it is a noun clause. When it describes an antecedent, it is an adjective clause. And when it answers a question when, where, why and how, it will be an adverb clause. Got the point? In this way you have to differentiate the clauses. Okay, let us make it clear with more examples. See the first one. He worked hard that he may pass the test. I have 6 statements on the board, sentence on the screen. You please have a look at them thoroughly. Pause the video and try to answer. What you do is, you have to name whether the dependent clauses are noun clause or adverb clause or adjective clause. Okay. See first one. He worked hard that he may pass the test. See, you have to identify the subordinate clause here. What is the subordinate clause here? First identify the subordinator. The subordinator is that. That he may pass the test. That is the subordinator. Okay. He may pass the, that he may pass the test is a subordinating clause. That is dependent clause. What is it? He worked hard. that he may pass the test. You separate the main clause. The main clause is he worked hard. Why did he work hard? Is the question. Why did he work hard? Because he may pass, isn't it? Why did he work hard? So this is in fact an adverb clause because it answers the question why. See the second one. I wash my hands before I eat anything. I wash my hands before I eat anything. See here, the subordinating clause is before I eat anything. Before I eat anything. And the question asked keeping the main clause. What is the main clause here? I wash my hands. You form a question using the main clause to get the subclause as an answer. And the question will be, when do you wash your hands? Then you say, I wash my hands before I eat anything. So when is the question? So it is again an adverb clause. Got it? Third one. You must practice until you get it right. You must practice until you get it right. Until you get it right is a subclause because until is subordinator. So subordinator introduces a clause. It is a subclause. I mean dependent clause. The main clause is you must practice. So you have to form a question using you must practice to get until you get it right. How will you form? How long must you practice? How long must you say? How? The question is formed using how. So this is again an adverb clause. First, second, third, all the three are adverb clauses. Fourth one. She was standing where the storm started. She was standing where the storm started. Here the subclause is where the storm started. Where the storm started. And form a question using she was standing. Where was she standing? Where was she standing? She was standing where the storm started. See, where the storm started. Again the question is where here. It is also an adverb clause. See, first, second, third and fourth. The answer questions why, when, how and where. So they are all adverb clauses. See the fifth one. We needed to find the place where they asked us to wait. We need to find the place where they asked us to wait. Here, what is the subordinate clause here? I mean, dependent clause. You see you first identify the subordinator. That is where. Where is the subordinator? Okay. Where they asked us to wait is the subclause. The main clause is we needed to find the place. You see the subclause describes the place where they asked us to wait. It describes the place. So what? It is an antecedent. When a clause describes the antecedent, it is known as an adjective clause. So this is adjective clause. See the last one. John admitted that he was guilty. First identify the subordinator. Subordinator here is that he was guilty. This is in fact a subclause, dependent clause. And what is it? See, John admitted. There is no antecedent here. So you have to form a question. So what question is formed here? What did John admit? We are not using when, where, why and how. We are using what. And when the subclause answers the question what, then the subclause will be a noun clause. As simple as that. Got it? When the subclause answers the question what, it is a noun clause. When it answers why, when, where and how, it will always be an adverb clause. And when a subclause describes an antecedent, it is known as an adjective clause. Okay, please refer this and try to differentiate an adverb clause, adjective and a noun clause. Okay, stay tuned for my next video. I'll soon come out with one more interesting topic. Till then, stay safe, stay home. If you have any doubts, you can call me on my personal number. This is my personal number. Alright? Be safe, dear students. See you soon.